Hi, I'm Aedy from Paradise Lost, and you're listening to metalstorm.net.
So how has the tour been going so far?
Excellent. The good thing about it is everyone's getting on really well as good friends, and we've known the Catatonia guys for a long time. We've met Devin before, and it's just really cool. Everyone's working really well together, having fun. The shows have been really good. I think we're winning over a bunch of new fans as well, which is one of the reasons we're doing it, you know. Promoting the new album. The new album songs are going down very well, so success all around, really. Yeah. Having fun.
Greg mentioned in an interview that there is no alcohol on the rider. Does that cut down on the drinking?
It's weird. It's the first tour. Well, we've been sort of buying our own, you know. We just go to Walmart or whatever and just buy cases of beer on the cheap, you know. But yeah, normally when we tour, there's like stacks of booze and Jägermeister and Jack Daniels and everything, and it's been a funny thing, but in a way good, because we haven't been drinking as much. I don't drink before a show anyway, which some of the other lads do, but I like my little reward beer afterwards. Me and Adrian always like ching after a show, so we've been buying them, so it's quite nice. We're not drinking as much, you know.
Now you guys just played Bloodstock, and you also played Bloodstock in 2005, which was the first Bloodstock.
Yeah, the first open air one. Yeah, we also played one of the original ones at Derby Assembly Rooms. Very good festival. I mean, the good thing about Bloodstock is it's actually it's not really a profit organisation. It's by metal fans for metalers, really. I mean, they're really into it. There's not really a corporate thing, you know. It's kind of cool. A bit like Wacken. Wacken is a similar sort of festival as well, which we played for the first time this year, which is bizarre, because we've been going 24.5 years, they've been going 23 years, and with our success in Germany, it's really bizarre. We've never played it before, but we really enjoyed it this year. We've had a very busy year this year, so it's been pretty full on.
So how would you compare Bloodstock to Wacken?
It's a smaller crowd. I think they limit it to about 10 or 15,000 people at Bloodstock, but you know, both very cool festivals, very similar in a way, you know. Bloodstock's really been increasing in popularity over the years, but I think a lot of festivals you find now in Europe have been reducing the sizes. I don't know whether that's insurance or whatever, you know, but a lot of festivals, I mean, we played a Dynamo festival in 1995, we sort of co-headlined with Typo Negative, and that was to 140,000 people.
Wow.
Which is quite an amazing sight. Just as dusk is falling, it's just starting to get dark, you walk on stage and 140,000 people go, oh, pretty amazing. But he said, I know the guy who runs that, and he said it was just a nightmare to organise. The year after that he did it again, and I think it was like 30,000. He really cut it down, he said, because it was so much hassle. Insurance purposes, you've got, you know, emergency services, you know, you've got your St John's ambulance and things like that. It's a lot for it, so I think festivals have cut down a lot. But it's cool, you know. It's like the Bloodstock, the area they had for the audience was round. It was really nice. Bumped into my friends from Dimmu Borgir, I've not seen for a bit. So I mean, festivals for us are like they're almost like heavy metal social clubs. We just bump into all our mates in other bands, so it's great for that, you know.
And since you just said heavy metal social clubs, and this was one of my later questions, you guys also gonna go to the Barge to Hell this December.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts, expectations on this one?
I don't know. I think being trapped on a boat with everyone for bloody 4 days, I don't know. A little part of that I don't like, but it's got some killer bands playing, you know, and I think as a fan going to it, I imagine it's like an amazing experience. You know, we've got a guy from our record company says there's nothing more bizarre than sitting in a jacuzzi and turning around and Venom are on stage, you know, with a cocktail, and you're there with a cocktail and a jacuzzi. He said mental, really, you know. But so it should be quite interesting. There's a lot of bands that we know as friends as well, going like COC are going to be there.
Yeah, Napalm
Death, who we've known as nearly as long as we've been going, you know. So yeah, so it's going to be pretty interesting.
Okay, so are you planning on wearing a life jacket all the time, or just?
I'm not a bad swimmer, actually. I actually love swimming in the sea. I don't want to have to do it as an emergency. But, no, it's one of my favourite things is to sort of sit by the sea in the shade with a good book, a beer, my wife next to me, although she's not going to be on the Barge to Hell, and just go and swim in the sea at leisure. You know, that's my dream.
Tragic Idol once again was produced by Jens Borgren.
Yeah.
And you guys went to Sweden?
Oh no, we recorded 50 Fighters in Sweden. We recorded this one at the Chapel in Lincolnshire, which is a studio we've used a few times before. It's our 4th album recorded there. Jens came over and did the start of the session, and then his engineer, who is phenomenal, Johan Ornberg, we've worked with him before as well. He recorded the rest of the guitar stuff. Nick went over to Sweden and did his vocals over there at Jens's new studio.
Okay.
But no, yeah, phenomenal. We couldn't be happier, to be honest, with the way it turned out. Jens is he almost has you on office hours or school hours. He literally start at 8 in the morning and finish at 5:30, which doesn't always fit to the heavy metal body clock, to be honest. You know, I'm more likely to be going to bed at 5 in the morning than sort of wishing I would have gone to sleep already. You know, but once you get in the swing of it, it's pretty good because then you can relax in the evening. You know. But once we were working with Johan didn't mind starting work about 11, so that's all right. And then I'd work till about 11 at night. I don't mind doing 12-hour days, but but with Johan we worked quite hard when I was doing all the rhythms and the acoustic and clean guitars. So. But it's great because they're both absolute perfectionists, and I've got pretty good ears for hearing things that might be not quite right. So I know when I want to do things again, but they just hear stuff that it's like they can even hear it coming out the valves in the amp in the same room. It's like, I don't know how you heard that, but but they're awesome to work for. Really do draw the best results out of you now.
Now the new album is also very guitar driven. Was that a conscious approach?
Yeah, I think it's almost a natural progression from what we've been doing over the last few albums. I think they're becoming more guitar centric, and I think subconsciously we really enjoyed the Draconian Time shows we played last year, and I think the whole twin guitar thing sort of probably subconsciously came in a bit with that, I mean, Faith Dividers was pretty much a guitar album as well. There wasn't that much orchestration on that, so it's a nice progression on from that, really. But yeah, no, we're really loving playing guitars together at the minute, so why not, And it sounds killer,
And speaking of playing guitars, you guys are dubbed the forerunner of the death, gas, doom, or whatever metal genre. I'm so sick of genres.
Yeah, I hate pigeonholing things like that. Yeah, I don't know. I just think of it as a Paradise Lost. But some people have come up with some pretty interesting names over the years. We've had my good friend Malcolm Dome, the journalist. He gave me one of our favourites. He called us Gondoliers of Gloom, which I thought was hilarious. And he did another one as well. I wish I could remember it now off the top of my head. But yeah, we've been called Gothic Doom classicists in the early years and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just sort of gothy, sort of orchestral, well, occasionally orchestral metal, really, but twin guitars, harmonies, I don't know, it's hard to say, really. We're just Paradise Lost. We sound like Paradise Lost now these days. After 13 albums, we can't really, get away from how we interact together and play,
Now, do you think you lost maybe some of your fans when you were in your, and I hate to use that word, Depeche mode?
It's weird. We've got, I think a lot of people were surprised. I think it was a combination of two things. I think The Last of Us cut our hair off. So it was like 5 boys with short hair, and we went heavily electronic. I think it was a combination of the two. Because I mean, literally, actually the first question in every interview after that wasn't about guitars. It was like, why did you cut your hair? That was the first question in every interview for about 4 years. Seriously. And
so
it was
why
like,
did you cut your hair?
So I was sick of pulling it out of my headstock, for me personally anyway. And it's like now I don't have bad hair days, I've got hair days. But I find it a lot easier like this now. The only thing is I have to headbang harder, because when you've got hair you can just move about that much and it looks like you're going crazy. That's crazy. But when you haven't got any hair, you've got to really throw yourself into it. So it's harder work without the hair, but it's it's easier in the morning.
Now, Nick kind of doesn't like his old singing style no more, or doesn't like to do his old singing style. So does that kind of prevent you guys from doing songs from the first 2 records?
Yeah, I mean, we do play some off Gothic occasionally, but we haven't played anything off the first album for years. I mean, who's to say we might do it in the future? But the problem is, it's like Nick has to sing quite differently to do the voice he used to do, and it sort of, if he does that, it affects how he can sing the cleaner sort of voice. So he'd find it quite difficult, really. It'd ruin his voice for other things. So, so it's like 2 different disciplines. He can do one, or he can do the other, I think. But mixing them up, because of the way he did it, I think it ruins how he can sing his more recent singing style.
And now you guys are over here promoting your new album, Tragic Idol, but you also haven't been here since 2007.
No.
So was it kind of hard to decide on a set list with your limited playing time?
Yeah, I mean, even when we do a full headline set, it's hard to pick when you've got 13 albums, you know. You're always obviously wanting to promote the latest recording. But I don't know. I mean, there's some songs that we know will sort of go down well, and hopefully fans who have Devin or Catatonia at the shows may not have heard us before, that they might hook into, you know. So there's some songs that pick themselves, and obviously we're throwing in some new ones. So.
Cool. Next year marks your 25th anniversary. Any special plans?
I've just had an email about it today, actually, but can't talk about it, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, up until today, we've sort of we should think about doing something. But our management and record company have started coming up with ideas, so there will probably be something, but I can't really say what it is yet, because we haven't really decided, because some of us want to go with this idea, and some of us don't want to go with this idea that's come up, so who knows. Yeah, but we'll do something, even if it's just us five in a pub getting drunk. But we will do something, I think, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, what's next after this tour?
Well, we're literally home for 5 days after this US tour. We've got to finish our European tour, because we did 6 weeks up till the start of festival season. Then from May until the start of September, I think we only had about 2 weekends at home. We've literally been doing the festival season quite heavily this year, this US tour. And then we've got about 2.5 weeks around Europe. I get November off to remind my wife what I look like. And then we've got the Barge from Hell in December. Following that is South America and Israel before Christmas.
Nice.
And
Israel.
then,
First time in Israel?
No. It's actually 20 years ago the first time. We went in September 92.
Wow.
The first time. We've been about 6 times, something like 7 times. But yeah, they're always pretty good shows. So.
Cool. Well, hopefully you're going to book an American day too then in 2013.
I hope so, you know, because I mean, the first time we came here was sort of July 93. And to say, you know, it's almost 20 years since then, we've only been 4 times in total, so we should make it be off. It's just so expensive, you know, especially now when you don't have as much money to invest in bringing everything to the States and the people and doing the long drives and etc. As at what the fees you get for a start, I think, because, you know, if people are illegally downloading your album, you haven't got the money to invest in touring, you know, as much. So yes, if we can, we'd love to come, because we've had a great time on this tour, you know. We've had, you know, people have been sort of standing and watching and then more into it by the end, which is good, you know, so we'd love to come back.
Cool. All right, thank you.
My pleasure, thank you.